All right, how excited am I to catch up with the CEO, the guy from PPAI, Dale Denham. Dale is a maverick. Dale is a visionary in this industry, and I truly mean that. Dale, welcome to Promonoise. Thank you for taking the time to be with me today.
To be here.
And I'm just so psyched to have you. You have a world of knowledge in this industry. You've worked in several capacities, and now you find yourself as CEO of the PPAI, one of the most far-reaching organizations in the entire industry, and you're moving and shaking. How does it feel, and what are you doing these days, like with this new role?
Well, it feels great. I'm really enjoying it, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And one of the great things is PPAI has always been, to your point, global, well-respected, good organization, but we're changing a lot of things, both internal culture. We run like an association, and we're trying to still run like an association, but a little bit more of a business-oriented association.
Okay.
And the cool thing about that is I don't have to worry about who makes how much money. I worry about whatever money we make, how do we get to reinvest that? And what I'm really excited about is we have a new strategic plan, and I can rattle off all the pieces for you, but the one piece that excites me the most, more than anything else, is we're really focused on elevating promo. And so our new vision is to make sure that promotional products are universally valued and essential to every brand. And when you stop and think about that, that means that every brand out there says, oh, there's real value. And we know that's not what people think today. There is some number of people who think, it's just stuff you give away or whatever.
Right.
And so we really want to elevate that. So every dollar we make, whether it's government advocacy or other things, go into helping this industry be more sustainable and growing this industry. And it's a lot of fun. In 3 weeks, we're launching our first promotional products work show, which is an online show for end users. And we just finished the production, and we're spending more money than we've ever spent to build really high quality educational content for this audience. And it's just so much fun. So it's been great, but I mean, I could tell you there's so many moving parts. My team's head is spinning.
Of course.
But they're loving it. They have embraced it. We've had a lot of change in staff over the last year.
Yep.
People who had a brighter future elsewhere, and some people who just said, this is time right for me, and then we brought in some great people. So it's a lot of fun to impact change. You and I were just talking a little bit about being fulfilled by helping people do more and accomplish and feeling good about your work. And I think I'm there, and I think my team is there. So it's a lot of fun.
Unreal. And there's so many nuggets in what Dale's just talking about. I want to get into education in a couple of seconds, but you just talked about this passion, right? You just talked about this feeling, and you embody that. How do you marry your personal passion, Dale? Like what it is you're most passionate about with the professional life and this goal to raise the profile of our industry, raise the professionalism, and have promotional products be universally understood as a valuable component of people's branding strategies. How do you marry those things?
It's an interesting question. I mean, I think that I love, and back up. My father was a minister. And I spent many, many Sundays and Wednesdays listening to sermons and sort of seeing evangelist and evangelical teaching.
Yes.
And I picked up a lot of the ability to communicate and transmit information in a meaningful way. Never wanted to be a pastor. It was not in the cards.
Okay.
But the idea of evangelizing, I don't know, maybe it's inherent. And so to evangelize the industry and the power of our industry, it's just sort of natural to me. I've always sort of been in that leader role, and it's been fun. So I remember my mom always tells the story when I was at Disney World and I was 7 or something, and I told everybody exactly what we were going to do and guided all the adults. It was just sort of normal. And to your point earlier, I've had the ability in this industry to work for service providers, distributors, and even we owned a supplier. And so to understand it with all the different aspects, and having served on the board of PPAI at one point,
yes,
really makes it helpful for me to go, okay, this is a direction we can go, and here's how it can actually meet a need.
Oh, absolutely.
And I like to solve problems. Just ask my wife. If she says something to me, I'm immediately solving. She's like, no, we're not solving the problem. I'm just talking with you, Dale.
That is awesome. And I thank you for sharing that. Like, this is really, these are the things that make us human, is those real stories. My dad was a minister. And it's funny because I do coaching, and I'm telling people, own who you are, right? Own it, man. And a lot of people will shy away from saying, I want to be a celebrity. I want to have celebrity. And there's nothing wrong with that, provided you do it from the heart. Provided you're like, I'm going to use my celebrity and I am going to spread a message because I have the ability to do that. And man, you radiate electricity, energy. You really do, Dale. When I'm around you, I'm invigorated. And so what you bring, that genealogy of being a minister, of communicating well, and actually when you're a minister, you have to be quite creative, don't you, with your sermons? Like, how am I going to connect this to my parishioners, I guess is the name, right? How am I going to connect this message? What's appropriate? What's relevant right now? And I see you working on what's relevant right now. So obviously you're a fan of education, right? Have you always been an educator? Are you at the leadership position? Is that sort of a tenet of what you do? You educate your staff, you educate those around you?
You know, I would say more motivate than educate. Yes. I truly believe in the value of education. I've been more of a consumer of education in the industry, although I guess now that I think about it, I've taught education for many, many years.
Yes.
But I'm mostly focused on bringing the industry forward technically.
Okay.
So another area of our strategic plan at PPAI is to drive digital transformation. Awesome. And even though I'm known for my technology background, I'm more excited about evangelizing the industry than I'm about driving transformation.
Yes.
But I think when I look back at my history in this industry, I've always been trying to move the industry forward technically.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I guess I have always been driving education, and even internally driving it. But I'm driving it in that angle because I think there are so many other people that do a great job with sales or motivation.
Right.
That I go to the places that there's a need.
Yes.
And I fit in there and then try to bring up somebody to come in behind me and do that. And so that's what I think in terms of education. I probably focused on that and will continue to do that.
Yeah.
Even though right now my focus is on evangelizing the industry, we are going to push very hard to get the industry to a point where we stop calling, how many of these do you have in stock? What's the status of my order? All that should be digital.
Yes, absolutely. This is awesome. This is an enlightening conversation. I love it. And I like where you're going with technology as well. I mean, you look around at cell phones and the way that they evolve. You look at social media platforms and the way they evolve. Where do you see our industry evolving, and particularly the association spot in the industry with regard to technological innovation? Where's that going to go? Where's the ceiling? I guess we can never see it, can we?
Yeah, it's going to be really tough because one of the philosophies I've brought to PPAI is the concept of a minimum viable product.
Okay.
You can think of it as continuous improvement, but the idea that you put something out there knowing that you've got an idea that can work, but you don't really know where it's going to end up.
Okay.
And I would say from a technology perspective, the one area that I see changing pretty concretely in the next 3 to 5 years is that most of the orders and information should be or will be transmitted electronically.
Super.
It can't stay the way it is.
Yep.
So I think that's a key piece, which is part of that, I think will make everybody just generally more efficient and open up other opportunities to make research easier and more powerful and really get the information out to the end users. But PPAI has invested in this Promotional Products Work Expo, which is an online event. And I do believe the online end user event is going to be very big.
Awesome.
Because as much as even here at this event, they're bringing end users in.
Yep.
But not every end user wants to go spend a day looking at promotional products or wants to travel very far or can. So I would prefer it to be an in-person event, right? It makes more sense. But we're not going to get people from all over the globe to come. So I think the online event gives the ability to educate those consumers, and I think that'll be a big part of our digital future.
Fabulous. I mean, we could go on for hours about technology and where it's going to go. And you know, I even see blockchain technology coming into this industry at some point, and even the movement of NFTs as viable promotional products that are digital, and we're seeing more and more digital products these days. So the sky's the limit, really, in terms of where we're going technologically. Tell us about what you've got up your sleeve for PPAI Vegas coming up early next year. You rocked it this year, man. You guys had the new Vegas Stadium you guys were at, right? So what are you doing this year to top that? I mean, that was insane.
Well, we haven't announced what we're doing, so I can't announce. My team would kill me if I announced it.
You won't hear it here first, unfortunately.
But what I can say is that we did have a really great event, and we hit the week that Omicron was spiking, and we had so much pressure. We made the tough calls, and we had the show. We followed guidelines, and it went really, really well.
Awesome.
And Promopalooza, which was the event at the stadium, was sold out. We've never had a sold out party. We charged more for the tickets than we've ever charged, and we still sold it out. What we're doing this year is going to be on par with that people will want. But the party is just one aspect. It's sort of like the celebration of everything. What really happened this year was people came to the show ready to do business.
Okay.
They had ideas, they had clients, and they spent time with the suppliers and said, hey, this is a problem I have, help me solve it. And the suppliers had more time because there wasn't as many people. There was still 6,000 people.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And it was fantastic. So my hope, and what we're trying to do, is make sure that while it's going to grow back to 8,000 or more, that we keep that ability where people come prepared, ready to do work, and then have fun at night too, but really come back with great ideas. And it worked really well for both the attendees and the suppliers. So I think we'll repeat that.
Unreal, Dale. Dale, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to catch up with you. I love what you're doing. I think so many of you are loving what Dale's doing over at PPAI. And of course, we've got to acknowledge their team. Dale's got an unbelievable team that are phenomenal at what they do. Dale, again, thank you for being here today, and thanks for supporting us here in Canada, right? We're a bit of a smaller market than you are in the States.
But it's an important market.
Right. Well, thanks for acknowledging that. I appreciate it, and taking the time to fly all the way up here to be with us. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, man, we'll catch up soon. Thanks, everybody.